Alright everyone, it's time for the Occult, video 218. You ask what happens when we die. I ask, why do I fucking care? Not to be emo about it or anything, like literally is like, who cares? Someday you will die, you will then rot, or be, burned in an incineration unit or something. Maybe you'll be burned on a pyre. Here in this country, by the way, it's actually illegal to do that. Like, you can't have a Viking funeral in this country. This is so, what of all the legalism and moralistic bullshit you could probably possibly have, screwing with some people's conception of what they need to do to go to the afterlife. Probably number one on that list after gun control. I think that, yeah, we need to bring Viking funerals back. That's the kind of funeral I want. I want them to burn my body on a pyre after beheading me. I want my skull defleshed and kept as a family heirloom because I'm pretty cool. And because if aliens come and they can resurrect me somehow from that, that would be kind of cool too. I want to visit the mothership, so I'm taking no chances. Leave like a little vial of dried blood for DNA samples or something. Leave a swatch of hair before, throwing out the rest of the defleshed face. A little bit morbid, but, it's a funny idea. I wonder if I could do that. I'm assuming that they could deflesh your skull and give you, just do that stuff at a funeral home. It's not illegal as far as I know. They just have to wear gloves, I guess. Sterilization. They have to bleach it afterwards, otherwise it doesn't conform to state law or something. Now, here's the thing. You will die. Mortality all-encompassing and stuff. You can grow old and shit like that if you don't die young. It's like, which would you rather have? Would you rather not experience life fully, or would you rather, like, stagger on through your 80s or something and, be half able to walk and think? I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait until I get a little bit older to sort of think about which one of those is preferable. But anyway, back to the main subject here. What I believe in, this is just my belief. I don't claim a gnosis with regards to this particular aspect of spirituality. What I believe in is a form of reincarnation, a variant. It's more theosophical and Hindu. I don't believe in the idea of like the Buddhist tradition is like, well, your ultimate goal, you should meditate and fast and do stuff and be charitable in order to liberate yourself from this cycle. Because existence is suffering. I don't see it as suffering at all. Look, there's plenty of bad in the world. There's also plenty of good. For every tear, there's a smile. And it might sound sappy, but that's true. Ultimately, life is going to spring up where conditions are hospitable for life. That life will then inter-compete, and that inter-competition is what causes that misery. It's a survival drive in the lower life forms. Humans give it more importance than that. It's like if you believe in evolution, it becomes more difficult to talk about these subjects, because I honestly do believe that the human race didn't just magically spring into existence because of the touch of a divine finger. I believe that it arose over a great period of time from a hominid lineage that, branches off, and we share an ancestor literally with chimps and orangutans and stuff like that. Yeah, I believe in evolution totally. There's no question in my mind, because I studied a little bit too much archaeology and anthropology. I'm sorry, I went to college. Those Marxists taught me about genetics and stuff. Just take a look at genetics and you'll understand why evolution is absolutely fact. Here's the thing, though. It gets a little bit more difficult when you consider that biological connection. You're like, well, do I really believe that all of these other ancestor offshoots, being distantly related to everything down to a mosquito, do I believe they have like souls and have like a reincarnation or an afterlife? I don't know. When I look at ants, I kind of second guess, but then I look at most people and I second guess that. So, the existence of a soul. So, who cares? I believe in a form of reincarnation, essentially, where when you die, what's going to happen? The first phase is that as your mental processes are slowing down, it's sort of like the life flash before your eyes thing, although different. It's going to be sort of dreamlike and weird. When people have near-death experiences, what I say is that they're just hallucinating. That doesn't divorce it from a spiritual context, but that's just the lack of oxygen to the brain, the flooding by endorphins and so forth, the slow shutdown of their biological functions. Thereafter, once they've blinked completely out of existence in the physical sense, are liberated of that, yes, I believe that there is a sort of dreamlike or other dimensional realm where a more true them exists that has used their body on this particular physical plane. Yeah, I do believe that, and I don't see how that's even remotely problematic. Can I prove it? No. Do I have a gnosis of it? No. Do I insist others believe the way I do, or they go to hell or something? No, absolutely not. I don't believe in judgment. I don't believe in an afterlife. I believe that is sort of, it's just another variant of physicality. There's nothing mystical specifically about it. But I do believe that it is possible. If it's possible for you to fall into a physical body once, it's possible for you to do it again. Because the physical body in that sense has relatively less importance. Less, it has agency, it has individuality, but is just a vessel. It's like a robotic suit that you're wearing to interact with the world around you. I believe that essentially is by choice. The limitations of your mental state here in this particular realm prevent you from knowing about that other self. It's what I believe in. And yes, I believe it's the same person each time. You'll lose your memories, which is, again, good and bad. How else can you spend eternity? If you were to spend eternity slowly gathering memories, eventually you would have pretty much seen everything. Every possibility within the physical realm would be exhausted. You'd be bored. The only way to I've thought about it before, like if I was given immortality, one of the first things I would do is set up like a time to lose, all of my most unimportant memories over and over again, like every 10,000 years or so. Like other than a few core memories of a few really special things like, your name and shit, fundamental central character aspects. Why would you want all of those memories? Some of them would be painful anyway, even if you could live forever. Yeah, that's what I would do if I became like a god or something. Then I would create a magical ring that would keep me from accidentally destroying too much, like in a fit of rage or something. That way I would, not alienate myself from the entire universe. A little bit mystical, I know. A little bit of an odd conversation. What does this have to do with mortality? I'm not even sure at this point. No. But as far as death, people are like, oh, what do you think happens after you die? Well, I think that we reincarnate after a fashion. It could be that we spend some time on that plane as well, that higher one. The Theosophists, by the way, agree with me on this. They sort of adapt the Hindu tradition. I happen to believe that Theosophy has a lot of wisdom. I don't agree with all aspects of it, especially sort of the westernized moralism that's associated because of the era. But if you divorce it of any moralistic context, yeah, Theosophy is like the closest thing to a religious group that I have respect for, actually. Which is funny since they're almost non-existent. Still got their headquarters in Adyar. I think there are only a few thousand Theosophists in the world, though. It's funny, though. The Steiner schools over in Europe, I think there are still like half a dozen of them. He founded all sorts of alternative learning, like sort of homeopathic learning schools. They're still there. They're real popular in Germany, apparently. They'd take kids out and they'd do farming and stuff like that and let them run around. I think it's great. Maybe he was the wisest of all of them. But yeah, I don't believe in the elimination of life upon death. But here's the other gist of the video that I've dicked around with here. It doesn't matter. Death is inevitable, therefore whatever happens after death is inevitable as well. Not in a fated sense, but just like if biologically when you shut down you stop existing, well, there's nothing you can do about it. Enjoy life. You got one, so, it kind of sucks, I guess. You'll blink out into blackness and void for the rest of eternity, but hey, under that auspice, you would have been like that before you were born anyway, so it's like, it's kind of like sleep that you just don't get to dream in or something like that. Or maybe your last memories, as your mind is exhausted, stretch out to such great length it feels like an eternity and you fall into another dimension. That's always possible too. But I don't care. Because whatever happens, it will happen. I believe that, one of the highest goals, as an Epicurean, one of the highest goals is to enjoy life. Yeah, to be happy, to indulge yourself, to reasonable limits and not to others' detriment, of course. That's about all. Peace out.